Guilt is a profoundly conservative emotion, and as such, not particularly useful for bringing about change. From a position of insecurity and guilt, people do not change or inspire others to change. Michael Kaufman. What is vegan guilt? It is that feeling of a guilty conscience following you everywhere. In the case for many vegans, this guilt can be crushing. It's dealing with the reality and getting overwhelmed by the wonder of how you were once part of the cruel animal exploitation industry. You're probably asking yourself, how could you have not known better? I could have been such a better person. Dealing with these realities can be extremely difficult. This is something that is going to be hard to swallow. But if your actions are motivated by guilt that you owe it to the animals for some past indiscretions, whilst you're coming from a good-hearted place, the reality is you are acting from the wrong motivations. You should be moving to positive activism, not because of guilt, but purely because you want to. Not because you feel bad, but because you want to create a better world for the animals. Whatever you do now or in the future will never change what has happened in the past and alleviate that burden of guilt. It's just not how it works. Why do you need to move past this guilt? The main reason you need to move past this guilt is if you're going to be someone who is an effective advocate for the animals, you need to be in your best possible sense of mental health. This sense of guilt is unbelievably bad for your mental health and can lead to depression, a negative view of yourself, and anxiety. If you're guilty, the chances are you're probably extremely stressed as well. You probably think you're doing great things for your physical health from a plant-based diet, but it has been clinically shown that such stresses will also contribute to risks in cardiovascular disease. What you need to do. I know this sounds hard, but you really need to move past this sense of guilt. For most people, the choice of eating animals was not one they made actively, as explained in my video on why people eat meat. The belief system held by the majority of society, carnism, told you it was okay to eat animals for food. Remember, you were taught this from when you were just a child. Whilst I'm one to shy away from making excuses, in this case, it's not. It's genuinely the reason. It is the culture and society you were raised in, and it is that culture and society you should be directing your frustration at, not yourself. View this past indiscretion as a learning experience and realize now through your enlightenment, you can do so much more for the animals by educating those around you to also make positive changes for the animals, for their health, and for our amazing planet. Lastly, every time you have that guilty voice in your head, continually reaffirm that it wasn't your fault and you're working to create a better world. Rinse and repeat. Remember, you are no use to the animals if you're suffering from ill physical and mental health. You need to be the best person you can be to effectively speak up for them. Now, if you found this information helped you, please share with your friends who you think may be burdened by this sense of guilt. It is absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with more helpful information when talking about veganism. This is Speaking Vegan.